Hello everybody, today we will talk about the reasons why an inferior alveolar nerve block fails. But before starting discussion, let us review some basics. The nerves anesthetized by inferior alveolar nerve block are inferior alveolar nerve branch, which is a branch of the posterior division of mandibular nerve, incisive nerve, mental and lingual nerve. Indication of this block is procedures on multiple mandibular teeth, procedures on buccal soft tissues and lingual soft tissues. Contraindications are acute infection or in patients which may bite their lip because of their tendency, a very young child, physically or mentally handicapped adult or child. The material required for this anesthesia is 1 to 2% lignocaine with or without epinephrine, a 25 to 27 gauge needle and topical anesthesia. The technique of inferior alveolar nerve block basically employs both the hand of the dentist. The left hand, which is used for retraction of the tissues, and right hand, which is used to hold the syringe to deposit the anesthetic solution. This technique involves 25 gauge long needle for adults. The area of insertion is basically the mucous membrane on the medial side of mandibular ramus at the intersection point of two lines. The horizontal line extends from coronoid notch to the deepest part in the pterygomandibular raphe, determining the height of injection. The vertical line extends 3/4 from the anterior border of ramus of mandible, determining the anterior-posterior plane of insertion. The meeting point of two lines is site of insertion of needle. The anatomical landmarks are coronoid notch, greatest concavity on the anterior border of the ramus of the mandible, pterygomandibular raphe, occlusion plane. Let us discuss the technique. For right inferior alveolar nerve block, a right-handed administrator should sit at 8 o'clock position facing the patient, that is almost opposite to the patient. Positioning of the patient. Position the patient supine, which is recommended, or semi-supine. The second position is you can ask the patient to be upright straight with mandible parallel to the floor. There are three factors which should be considered before administrating the inferior alveolar nerve block: the height of the injection, second, the anterior posterior placement of the needle, which helps you to locate a precise needle entry point, and the depth of the penetration, which determines the location of inferior alveolar nerve or mandibular foramen. Let us understand the height of injection. To determine the height of injection, place the index finger or thumb of your left hand in the coronoid notch. Draw an imaginary line extending posteriorly from the fingertip in the coronoid notch to the deepest part of the pterygomandibular raphe. As pterygomandibular raphe turns vertically upward towards maxilla, determining the height of injection. This imaginary line should be parallel with the occlusion plane of mandibular molar teeth. In this diagram, you can notice the placement of syringe barrel is at the corner of the mouth, which usually corresponds to the premolars. The needle insertion point, as evident in this diagram, it lies 3/4 of the anterior posterior distance from the coronoid notch back to the deepest part of the pterygomandibular raphe. Now I will try to explain the anterior posterior plane or point of needle penetration. This anterior posterior point is basically intersection of two points. Point number 1, which falls along the horizontal line from coronoid notch to the deepest point of the pterygomandibular raphe, as pterygomandibular raphe vertically ascends towards the palate. Point number 2 is on vertical line through point number 1 about 3/4 of the distance from the anterior border of the ramus. This determines the anterior posterior site of injection. I have talked about height of the injection, anterior posterior plane of the injection, and now I will talk about the final point, the penetration depth of the injection. It is important that you contact with the bone. Your bevel should be towards the bone and it should preferably contact the bone. The average depth of penetration to bony contact is 20 to 25 mm, approximately 2/3 to 3/4 of the length of long dental needle. In case if bone is not contacted too soon or less than half of the length of long dental needle, the needle tip is usually located too far anteriorly or I should say laterally on the ramus. Now I will tell you a two-step to correct the improper penetration. First, withdraw the needle slightly but do not remove it from the soft tissues. Second, bring the syringe barrel around towards the front of the mouth, preferably over the canine or lateral incisor on the contralateral side. Then redirect the needle until a more appropriate depth of insertion is obtained. The needle tip is now located posteriorly in the mandibular sulcus. I will discuss the second scenario. If the bone is not at all contacted even after the insertion of the needle tip is usually located too far posteriorly, I mean to say medially. To correct it, there are again two tricks. First, withdraw the needle slightly in the tissue, leaving approximately 1/4 of its length in the tissue itself, and reposition the syringe barrel now more posteriorly over the mandibular molars. Second, continue the insertion until the contact with bone is made at appropriate depth, preferably 20 to 25 millimeters. When bone contact is made, withdraw approximately 1 millimeter to prevent subperiosteal injection. Then do aspiration, and if aspiration is negative, slowly deposit 1.5 ml of anesthetic over a minimum of 60 seconds. To reconfirm yourself, you can do re-aspiration by moving the injection needle a quarter. Then slowly withdraw the syringe up to the half of the length of the needle. Then move the needle from contralateral side to the same side and deposit the remaining anesthetic solution so that the lingual nerve can be anesthetized. The sign and symptoms. Subjectively, there is tingling or numbness in the lower lip, which indicates mental nerve anesthetized. Subjectively, tingling or numbness of the lip and tongue indicates anesthesia of lingual nerve. Objectively, no pain is felt during the therapy.